Theo Prodromitis.
And I'm a marketing strategist. I help global entrepreneurs achieve their potential.
Good afternoon, I'm Theo Prodromitis, and welcome to Reset, Creating a New Vision. Resetting your mindset of what you think is going on in the world, and regardless of what the beliefs are there, taking a good look and saying, what do I believe? Do I believe that I can recreate? Do I believe that this is limiting me? Do I believe that I can innovate at this time and find some meaning in resetting? And how has that changed? Are you more fearful now? On a daily basis to be able to focus and actually get to the point of your vision, because it's still your life to create. It's still your opportunity to take out of it what you will and actually come out a better person and inspire other people as well. Here's some mindset strategies. The past does not equal the future, but if you focus on the past, you're going to repeat the same patterns. And people have they report about 20,000 to 60,000 thoughts per day. And what are those thoughts? Are you repeating the patterns of the past and replaying what might have happened? And that's going to set you into sort of a robotic mode, and to actually repeat those, because your emotions are going to be what actually dictates how you feel. And how you feel is going to dictate your emotions. So it's sort of a circular situation. And we hope that all of you have the opportunity to be in charge of that. If you're future focused, you get into the trap of I'll be happy when. So you're focusing on the future and saying, okay, when I lose weight, when I make money, when I do that, I'll be happy then. And then the third mindset strategy is the present, and finding meaning in every day, living in forgiveness, gratitude, and positive anticipation. Let the future go, even though you have a vision for the future, and also learning and having the experience of the past, but not being driven or held back by that. According to the research by Carol Dweck, there's two types of mindsets, and she's coined these phrases and she's done the research on them: the fixed mindset or the growth mindset. A fixed mindset, they're people that believe their qualities are fixed traits and can't change. And a growth mindset are people that have underlying belief that their learning and intelligence can grow with time and experience. Now, of course, if you're on this webinar, I'm thinking that you're in the growth mindset. But we have to understand and be able to reference the fixed mindset, because some of the people closest to you may have a fixed mindset. So as soon as you get off this and you're saying, I'm creating this new vision, I'm going to make a vision board, and you're all excited about it, you may have somebody try to deflate you that has a fixed mindset, and it's certainly not any of their problem. It's not that one is right and one is wrong. It's just a different way and a different pair of glasses that they're looking at the world. They believe that their qualities and traits are fixed and that they can't change. Carol says, no matter what your ability is, effort is what ignites the ability and turns it into an accomplishment. I love that. Okay, it's time to revisit your dreams and goals. Where do they stand? How often do you update them? And what do you believe? These are big questions. It's why you take time out of your schedule to join a webinar like this, for introspection. And they're things that are very sacred and very personal to you. So you don't have to share them with people. You have to be very guarded, because people can deflate you and actually diminish what you're going through if you're trying to advance yourself and create a new vision and say, okay, how has the pandemic affected me? Do I have current goals that are big enough, current vision for myself? And you want to revisit what that setting was and see how you can move forward and create a vision for the future. So where do they stand? Do you have them written down? Are they just something that you think about? Are you afraid to commit to them because you don't want to be disappointed? And then how often do you update them and revisit them? Do you have a partner, or do you have somebody who's an accountability partner that can do that with you? That's something I highly recommend. The journey is richer when you have somebody that also has a growth mindset and actually is going for big goals and visions and can support you in it. And then what do you believe? Do you believe that there's any limitations? What are your key and core beliefs on your ability to create, innovate, and expand? Do you believe that anything on the macro, the big picture of the economy, politics, anything else big, is affecting you or limiting you, or are you focused more in on your day-to-day life and trying to create the vision for yourself? And there's nothing right or wrong, just an opportunity in the reset. Whatever you put out there is what you're going to be able to manifest. So the vision board is a process by which you can identify and characterize your biggest dreams and goals in pictures. So John says, a vision board is a way of creating clarity around what you want to create for yourself by choosing a series of powerful, meaningful images and affixing them to a display that you look at multiple times a day. And you focus your attention on what matters the most to you to make that your destination. How are we going to arrive somewhere if we don't set the course? We don't get in our car and just start driving and not know where we're going. So we need to take that control and the emotions and the pictures and the visualization onto a vision board to help you connect to it, to see what's possible. Step 1, suspend the how. The best advice I've ever received and could ever give is for you to suspend how you're going to do it, how you're going to achieve these lofty goals. How am I going to get from where I am to that point? That is not for you to worry about. There's a great deal of planning that can go into it step by step, but first, dream. First, create the vision. And then the steps will appear as you go and as you take action. There'll be choices to make and a pathway to follow. But we often limit ourselves in dreaming big or creating visions for things that we want. We're afraid to because we don't know how. And I can tell you from experience that the how comes about as you show faith and continue to take steps and action towards the goal. You may be redirected, but the how does come. So 3 minutes per topic. Best way to start a vision board is to write in a journal with passion and fun. And you can even play some great music to actually anchor you. A lot of people are really moved and their emotions are moved by great music. So the topics are all about you. This is the time to focus on you. So these are the categories that you're gonna write down. So find a journal or something you can write in that's more permanent, and then take each topic and write about it just carefree for 3 minutes. And this exercise is harder than you think, because once you start streaming and writing all the things that you really want and creating a vision for yourself, if you had no limits, what would you want and what would you want to create? And so there's lots of things that you can do here, and getting really creative. Don't be embarrassed. It's sacred. It's for you. Then the next step is going to be to find the images that represent those. So you're going to go back through your visions and all of the different categories and pick out a couple that you're really wanting to commit to or to actually create images for. You can go to magazines, photo albums of people, internet search, and I encourage you to print in color, and then you're going to have a board. You can take one that's easy as something this big, or a big poster, whatever it is that works for you. This is a cardboard trifold display board you can get on Amazon. And then you can take the pictures that you cut out and put words, type them in the computer, print them out, and marry those with the images so that your vision board is starting to take form, and it's starting to show what could be in your mind, get it out there in front of you for you to experience every single day and to review. This is really the secret to the secret, is that in the movie The Secret, if you saw it, or the book, they talk about being able to manifest anything. And what the important part is to match your head to your heart. So you have to be able to visualize and then create the emotions. They go together. Just visualizing or just saying affirmations without the actual feeling and emotion does not create the result that you want. So when I say anchor with music or emotions, I'm saying that when your vision board is created and you look at it every day a couple of times, you're going to want to, you can bring it to life, and a lot of people are motivated by playing their favorite song or match up the music with the emotions. And when you're sitting and you're going to look at your vision board a couple of times a day, you're going to have it visible also, you're going to have it visible, but you also want it to be sacred. You don't want to leave it sitting there so that any Tom, Dick, and Harry can come by and say, what is that? Oh, what is that? And then they can either try to deflate you or make fun of you or in some way be in your inner circle. Keep it sacred. Suspend the how. Don't worry about how you're going to do it. Just know that you can do it. Look at it, visualize it, internalize it, and marry it with emotion, because that's how the creation process happens. And then suddenly when you have the divine inspiration of how you're going to do things, maybe people say, oh, in the shower, they think of it, jot it down, and take the steps in action. Because bringing the vision board to life, step 1 is allowing yourself to dream. Step 2 is actually creating the vision board. And then you can update it when you come up with something new. And then taking action, but not being stuck on the how, just taking action and releasing that attachment to how you're going to do it and judging yourself. 10 steps to making time for your vision board, which includes putting you in the driver's seat to curate your own life and to be the one who is the creator. You're curating it and you're making very deliberate decisions on what you're going to let in. Jim Rohn says, stand guard at the door to your mind. It's a really important concept. Number 1, reduce social media scrolling. That is just visualizing somebody else's life. If you think about it, what is viewing on social media? It's taking the content and visualizing somebody else's life. You're seeing what they're doing. What did they look like? What did their kids achieve? All of that. It makes you feel connected to a certain extent, but reduce the social media scrolling. I highly encourage you to do that. Spend the focus on creating the journal with your highest vision, going ahead and deciding what you're going to put onto your vision board, and then spending the time to honor that. You deserve it. Limit the news. First and foremost, once a day. I know that everybody is afraid to not watch, but it is polluting everyone's minds, and one time a day just to see what any major updates and anything that major that's happening in the world, I guarantee you, can be consumed once a day. Cut off talking on the phone in the terms of gossiping or listening to complainers. I just mean the friends of yours that go through the cycle or family and they just gossip and they say the same things over and over. It's just a different story and it's the same thing. Hire a service for grocery shopping. That's my number 1 on the list. I think I could estimate that I have saved in the last 3 years with using a shopping service, probably at least 400 hours of time that doesn't enrich me. So, automate your bill paying online, that process. Who likes to pay bills anyway? Also recommend dedicate one specific credit card to household bills and have them all come out of there so that you can see your monthly budget. Only check your email 3 times a day. Email can just redirect your life just as much as social media. So 3 times a day, morning, afternoon, and evening. And unless you have something that requires for your job immediate responses like from your boss, make sure you can discern the difference between that and only respond. If you have to check it more than that many times to make sure your boss or your coworkers or a project, but making sure that you prioritize those and don't get sucked into just responding. Turn off notifications on your phone, of course. We all need to do that because the fact is you don't want this dinging and interrupting you. It's like somebody walking in. Well, you don't need the notifications for social media. Reduce your Netflix binging, and some people are going to push back on this, but numbing out like that is great in a certain time and a certain aspect. But if you're trying to make time for your vision, plan it into your day as non-negotiable. So many of us move the bar and put other people first. This is non-negotiable. This is creating your life. What could be more sacred and what could be more perfect and more worthy of making a commitment to? So don't move the bar on that, making that non-negotiable, that you need at least X amount of time during the day to use your vision board, look at it, play the music, have a cup of coffee, envision yourself where you want to go, what it looks like. Place it in front of the treadmill and add anchor music. That's one of the other ways that you can make time for your vision board. is that if you place it someplace where you are you're likely to see it and experience it when you're in joy, in a state of happiness and endorphins and joy. That's another way to bring it to life. You can give yourself permission to create a vision for your life so rich and compelling that you can feel it already here. Don't wait. And I look forward to hearing your feedback and questions, and can't wait for you to create your new vision.